Hey everyone, it's Nostalgix from Cosmic Academy back with another video. So today, as you can see by the title, I'm here to tell you guys about 10 workflow tips to boost productivity in the studio. Now I know we all have busy lives. Some of you may be working day jobs or maybe even have 2 jobs and you're struggling to find time at the end of the day to sit there and make music. Well, I'm here today to help you to find more time and increase your productivity in your sessions so that when you do have that time, if you even have an hour, you can use it to its maximum potential and make something dope from it. So this year alone, I've put out 12 records now, which is a lot of records because if I've put out 12 records, that means I've made even more than that. So how do I do that? How do I get away with making so much music? It's because of how I treat my sessions and how I'm able to really put aside that time and focus during my sessions to the project that I'm working on. These are some of the releases I've had this year, and it wouldn't be possible to have this many releases if I wasn't on top of my game when I'm in the studio. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to tell you guys about 10 workflow tips to boost productivity in the studio. Alright, so tip number 1. Oh, wait up, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Yeah, no worries. I'll just stop producing and let's talk for 10 minutes. Wait, just kidding. I'm in the middle of the video. I'll call you back later. Boom. Put that thing away. If you got a cell phone, leave it out of the room. This is tip number 1. I think cell phones are one of the most distracting things to keep in a room with you. I personally, even if I have my phone like on in the room, I just feel like I'm thinking about it, and sometimes I'm more likely to get up from my desk and be like, I'm gonna just take a little break and go on my phone. But it's never like a little break. When you're on your phone, like you get distracted, there's all these things that pop up, and then you just forget what you're working on and you lose that creative flow. So my biggest trick is to honestly either turn off your phone or leave it in another room if you can. To go along with that, I also try to turn off my Wi-Fi whenever I'm sitting there producing because I feel like it really lets me just be in my zone and not be looking at any notifications that pop up, because it really just takes like one email popping up to be like, okay, I should change gears and work on this instead, and you just lose your train of thought. So easy trick, just leave it outside the studio, and when you're done your session, go and check it. Whatever requires your attention can wait. Tip number 2, work with a purpose. When you're going into a session, decide what you want that session to be. Are you trying to work on sound design for the day? Are you trying to work on a specific song? Don't keep hopping from project to project because you're going to lose the creative flow, but just go in with your mindset on what you want to accomplish that day, and you're going to be way more likely to actually get that done instead of jumping between a bunch of projects and not having a clear vision. Tip number 3 is make lists. I personally do this on a day-to-day basis. I always carry around a pen and sticky notes. The best trick is to write down what you're working on and make a list of all the things that you need to get done. As you go through one by one, check them off. And I like to write it in the order of what's most important, so I do that first and then I go down my list. That way I make sure that everything that requires my attention gets it. And once I'm done and I've checked everything off, I also feel really accomplished because I got everything on my list done. That's why I would recommend getting a physical list instead of writing on your phone, because 1, you're not distracting yourself every time you have to do a task to go on your phone, and 2, it's just very satisfying to just check something off. I don't know the science behind it, but there's probably a science behind it. Tip number 4 is use a timer. This is extremely helpful no matter what level you're at, especially if you're a beginner and it's just taking you so much time to get one sound the way that you want it. A timer will really help you stay on track. I like to put a timer on for 30 minutes. So for those 30 minutes, I'm sitting there, I'm engaged, and I'm in my DAW working on whatever task I need to do. When that 30 minutes is up, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take 5 minutes to go for a little walk, and then I'm going to come back and get to work. Or it'll also help you just stay on top of things so you're not sitting there working on a snare for 30 minutes. You're like, okay, it's been 30 minutes, like, this is how good the snare is going to get. Let's let it be, and let's move on to the next thing. Maybe I can come back to it. But a timer will really just help you stay on task and engage with what you're doing. It's like having a coach that's standing there being like, hey, you can't Get up for 30 minutes. Like, keep producing for 30 minutes. You got this. That's it. Same thing. So that leads us to tip number 5. Take breaks. It is so important and underrated to take breaks. When you are spending a lot of time making music, you want to make sure you're also giving your ears time to breathe. And it's always so good to come back with a fresh perspective. Even if you need to take a couple days not making music, that's all right, because you're going to come back so refreshed and you're going to be able to just make music faster and better instead of just sitting there tiring your ears. Because at a certain point, if you're just sitting there listening to the same loop, your ears are going to get tired. Take some time, come back refreshed, and you're going to come in with a whole new perspective and you're going to make it even better. So take breaks and don't be hard on yourself. Tip number 6, one of the most important ones, is to subscribe to Cosmic Academy. Make sure to do it right now. It's right below us. It's just going to help your music improve so much and sound better. And while you're at it, make sure to like and comment to let me know how you're liking this video. That was smooth. Okay, so the real number 6 is stay organized. Have an organized best samples folder that you can always refer back to. I like to have a little folder that I make with sounds that I like, that inspire me, so that when I am starting a fresh project, I'm not sitting there trying to like get the right sounds together, make the right sounds. I just have a folder that's ready to go, so I can just let my creativity run wild. And I have a folder full of good sounds. Like I have my perfect kick, I got the clap I'm going to be using. So it just saves a lot of time and it lets you be in your state of flow without having to spend a bunch of time finding the right sound. Because you know what? You already got it. Stay organized. Tip number 7. Go through new presets and organize them before you start a new producing session. The last thing you want is to be sitting there feeling creative, writing a new song and trying to find the perfect sound to fit in it. And then you just go through like all these presets. You're like, oh damn, like nothing works. And then you get uninspired from the song. It's so much easier to just have good presets that you know sound good that you can go and refer to. So when you do get new presets, make sure to go through them and sort them. Be organized, it'll help you in the long run. Tip number 8 is have separate sound design days where you sit down and you make cool sounds and make yourself a little folder of things that you think will sound cool and inspire you to create something. And then the next day, if you're having a session where you're writing, you can implement all those sounds and make something cool out of it. Tip number 9 is to drink water. When you're sitting there producing all day, you might forget to drink water, but you want to make sure you're hydrated. So you're sitting there making smart decisions and you're thinking clearly. So water helps. Make sure to stay hydrated. You're welcome. All right, so final tip for you guys, and I've saved the best for last, obviously. Sample your old songs. When you finish a song, you can go through and export certain stems, you can export groups of how you process something, and you can also export presets. Save them in a little folder for yourself. You can make a sample pack for each song, and then every time you're writing a new song and you're thinking back to that old song that you made and thinking, oh, like what did I do there? Like that was so cool. It would sound great here. You're already going to have it. So it's going to save you so much time going back and forth. In the past, I've had it where I really liked the processing of a vocal that I did, or maybe the delay was just so perfect. So I made sure to save all those. So I saved the delay, I saved the way that I processed the vocals. And then now whenever I have a song that's similar to that style, I'm able to dig up that processing again and change it to fit the new song. So it just saves so much time instead of having to do everything from scratch. Having little presets of your own work will increase your productivity by so much. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Those are 10 workflow tips to boost your productivity in the studio. This has been Nostalgix from Cosmic Academy. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to Cosmic Academy. You can find them on all socials at Cosmic Academy, and you can find me on all socials at Nostalgix Music. Make sure to like and leave a comment. Let me know which workflow tip you find the most helpful and that you're going to implement into your routine. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in today. This has been Nostalgix, signing off.